I'm at this park in Utah on this beautiful day, asking random people, just strangers, what they think about this new NAR ruling where they're going to have to work with the buyer agent from the very beginning of looking at homes and be under contract. So as you went through that process of buying a house, did you go under contract right from the very beginning, or do you remember?
Oh, that they'd be they'd
that they would be
represent
your
me?
agent, like you signed a contract saying I will be your agent during that whole time.
The very first one I did it that way, not that it went bad, but that was my least preferable one of when I did that. Yeah. The other ones before we had an agreement that they're my realtor, those ones it seems like people kept a little pep in their step for
because they wanted to keep
closing.
earning your business. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what would you think if this new ruling says that you can't even, with an agent at least, go look at a house without being under contract from the very beginning?
So the rule is you can't go look at a house if you're not in contract with your realtor.
As far as a real estate agent service being involved, a realtor being involved, yeah, they can't even take you in that house or show you multiple homes before you decide, okay, now I'm ready to sign, like an offer.
Well, hopefully this is the right answer I was looking for, but to me that sounds terrible.
You probably know that an agent doesn't get paid until the deal closes.
Right.
So all those homes they might show you along the way, and that's where I think you said the pep in their step, because they know they're not getting paid until that happens. So really what it's doing is it's kind of helping that relationship be solidified and that agent making sure they get paid with all the work that they're doing along the way.
Right.
Does that sound so bad to you if it worked out that way?
Not too bad, but my experience is when I've had an agent as a buyer, usually I'm on the Trulia and the MLS and all that stuff looking anyways, but then I would just use them to go be able to see the house, right? So for most of it, the legwork's been myself, and if I had a contract with somebody that could only use them, not that that's terrible, but I would want the freedom of, like, if I don't want them, to find somebody else.
Yeah.
I can see why it'd behoove the agents, because they know that they have a customer they need to provide for. I think a lot of people, and I've done a little bit myself, when you're in the market and you don't have one person, you end up talking to all sorts of different people and going all over the place. So I can see a benefit in that. I don't know, maybe it's that American freedom thing of, like, don't lock me into anything.
So do you own a house?
I own a duplex.
A duplex here close by?
Yep, just here in Sugar House. Well, let me just make sure I understand. So if I want to look at a house, I have to first have an agent. I have to sign a contract with them. And then that requires that whatever house I look at or whatever house I decide to buy, they get commission for it.
That's about what it's like, yes.
Yeah, so did you say it's law already passed?
Well, the ruling is done, but it's actually going to go into effect sometime in August.
Yeah. I mean, I don't agree with that. If there's anything I could do to oppose that, I will. If the agents are requiring that I can't even see a property without them, I feel like that's grossly overstepping their role as an agent.
Yeah.
Their role is to be a facilitator. That's it.
Yeah.
And if I don't need a facilitator, I shouldn't have to have one.
Okay.
I had a property in Midvale that I chose to sell by myself because I didn't want to pay agent commissions. And so I had somebody wandering the neighborhood, him and his wife, and they saw the house for sale. And I said, look, we're going to fill out this paper and we're going to do it as if we were agents. And you're going to have, the grace period, all that stuff, you're going to fill it out and we're going to honor this.
What do you think an agent should be doing for you if you're going to sign a contract like that?
That's a good question. I mean, I think if I'm a first-time buyer, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's nice to have somebody guiding you. If it's not a family member, if you probably want to go with an agent and usually look for referrals for people that you trust know. But as a buyer now, I really just either want to make the process quick and easy and kind of stay out of the middle negotiation, right? Because it can become personal, right? When you meet the seller and you're like,
so that's what the agent's for, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like it just helps it stay more neutral and helps facilitate. And I think that would be good enough, right? And help navigate the process, especially for the first-time home buyers. I think that if something is going to change regarding like commission and different things like that, there just needs to be super really great transparency up front.
Definitely.
There are risks either way.
Mhm.
You either pay the price through commission, or you pay the price through, you know, maybe you don't get the best that you could have because you don't have someone helping to negotiate. So I think it's just, people just need to know that there are trade-offs with whatever it is that they decide, and then they can make the most informed decision for their situation.
I will say that I think the intention of the National Association of Realtors is to provide more transparency, is to provide at least an awareness of what the agent's role is and how that role should be, you know, should play within that buyer getting what they need or want and feeling like they're getting value out of that.
If the community can learn to see agents as a service and to understand what is it that I can offer, and it might be slightly different for different people because you're trying to meet them where they're at, but like in the foundation, the bones of what you're trying to offer is always the same. You want to give them an experience that helps them make the best decision for what they're looking for in their life right now. And for some people, like you said, you know, taking the videos or pictures of this house had this and helping them remember the layout, that goes a long way. I have parents that are 80 and we were looking at houses recently and they were like, wait, which one was the one that had? And I'm like, remember, and I'm drawing it out. So it would have been awesome, right? To have somebody that's like, let me just give you a little landscape of what you just saw. Now go and think about this and see if it meets your needs. And they would also do some of the work to help find, you know, options that we were looking for at the time. You know, so because I did a lot of that, I was like, I'll just get on utahrealestate.com. And that's great. Like, go do that. But to have somebody to help kind of keep the pace and help do a little bit more digging, then I don't have to spend the time doing that.
Get you more information that you don't already have.
Yeah, it's a huge benefit, especially, like I said, for first-time home buyers or people who are intimidated by the cost of housing right now. You know, it brings the intimidation factor down a little bit. So yeah, I think more transparency and thinking about it and approaching it and teaching agents that this really is a service. How can we serve the client? What do they need? What's their demographic? What's their age group? What can we provide them that they couldn't probably do on their own or they wouldn't have the time to? So yeah, I mean, all of that are things that you don't normally see on a flyer. It's like, I don't want to pay some guy to like run paperwork that I could just Google and print. You know, I could just do it myself. But you're absolutely right. And when I sold that house later, I was kicking myself because I was like, I think I could have gotten more. You know, and I was like, I did my own research, right? What's in the area, but I really truly believe now that I could have gotten a lot more. Very much.
Can I get that?
Oh yes.